I call all of my power back to me now. I am whole and complete. Hi, welcome to Kick-Ass Switch, putting the K in magic. I'm Joanna DeVoe, and you are watching a video about the heart and soul of being a witch, which is the last video in this Witches Who Run with the Wolves series I have been doing for the entire month of July. And if you missed it, if you are finding this video randomly a couple years from now, or maybe you're just getting into reading the book Women Who Run with the Wolves by Clarissa Pinkola Estes. That's who inspired this entire series. That's the book it's based on. If you're just getting into that or you're curious about it, I have created a resource, a blog post that contains all of the links from this month, so you can go at your own pace because it's a lot to take in all at once. And I am calling that Wolf Links, Kick-Ass Resources for a Witchy Rewilding. And if you're not already on my blog watching this video, just follow the link down below and it will take you there. So this last Tuesday, I did the final four. I did 4 episodes of Hippie Witch that I titled Soul Retrieval. Also, so you could find them, if you stumbled on them later. They're all titled Soul Retrieval, even though each one is its own thing. So I did the final one for that on Tuesday. I did the final book nerd post for Women Who Run with the Wolves on Monday. So this is it. We are done today, and then August 1st, we move into a brand new theme, and I'm so excited about it because we are going to be talking about the occult. And I want to talk about some of the more intriguing aspects of the occult. So I have invited some special guests onto Kick-Ass Switch. So there's going to be some new interviews, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But getting into this whole idea of the heart and soul of a witch, I had this crazy idea. It's just an idea. It's just a thought. I'm not saying it's a fact. I'm not saying it's the truth. But witches, we spend a lot of time trying to define what it means to be a witch. We spend a lot of time talking about that in our community. I spend a lot of time thinking about it personally. And even though this book is not about being a witch per se, to me it kind of is. For Clarissa Pinkola Estes, calling back your soul is calling back, whoops, a little goddess necklace is getting twisted in my hair. I love this thing. She's all about calling your soul back to you, which is why, again, I wanted to share that smudging technique in the beginning, but it's getting back in touch with your intuition, getting back in touch with your wildish nature, as she calls it. But you might also just call it your witchy nature. And then this weird thought that I've been having now as I'm bringing this all to a close is you might just also call it human nature. And I started thinking, oh, weird. Being a witch is kind of like embracing humanity as your religion in a way. So hear me out. Because this actually, I guess, would mean that all humans are witches inside, and all witches are practicing this kind of like reconnecting with being human as being divine. So I'm always saying as above, so below, as within, so without. Witches understand that we are nature. We are a part of nature. So when she says that calling your soul back to yourself it involves 2 realms, nature and creativity. Of course, witches work with nature. We honor nature. We observe it. It's our greatest teacher. And we also recognize that nature is all around us, but it's also within us. So obviously that's super witchy. But then so is creativity, because 99.99% of the witches I know, creativity is a part of our practice. It's like witchcraft is making and art of your spirituality, which is, I think, maybe why we say craft. We're crafting our own spirituality. It's about engaging all 5 of your senses, all 5 of your physical senses, so that you can then tap into all of the other senses that fall under this umbrella term, the 6th sense, your spidey senses, your witchy senses. And in doing that, you come to realize that these things are not supernatural. Being a witch is not a supernatural experience. It's the most natural thing in the world. It's about being human. And so many of the religions that so many of us grew up in are about denying your human nature and shaming yourself for being human and asking that you be something more than being human in a way, that you deny these animal instincts that you have. So it's really empowering to say, fuck off. No, I am divine. I am perfect as is. I am perfect in my imperfection, and I am meant to embrace my wildish nature. I don't know if she coined that term, but I like it. Wildish nature. I'm meant to claim these things. And it's not just religion that does this. For most of us in the Western world, we are born into totally unnatural environments. We are born in a hospital. It doesn't get more sterile and unnatural and sci-fi weird than that, especially when you start really putting yourself there and thinking about like all the weird metal instruments and machines and the white walls and how everything is sterile and smells like bleach and all the strange beeping noises and the isolation. We are born in the most unnatural environments, in the most unnatural way, either by cutting the baby out or making the mom lay on her back, usually on drugs, when obviously it's gravity that pulls the baby out. And then we are very soon, when we're still so young and want to be with our mamas, we are sent into these institutions that teach us how to sit still and follow the rules, usually at a desk for 5 to 8 hours a day. We are trained to respond at the ring of a bell. And this is because we are intended as adults to become cogs in someone else's wheel. And for those of us who are rewilding ourselves, who are into the rewilding movement, or for those of us who just have this like wild and free hippie nature, or for those of us that want to call ourselves a witch or all of the above, we are people who are saying no. And in that way, it is totally radical and totally awesome. And when I read this book, when I went back through it, with a fine-tooth comb this month, that is what kept coming back to me again and again and again. It's like, this is just coming home. Being a witch is just coming home. Reading this book and actually absorbing it and taking it in, it's just coming home. It's getting back in touch with your soul. This is the work of your soul. This is soul work. This is the work of your heart. It's following your heart path. And I didn't write this quote down, but she says something about courage is following your heart. And that's what witches do, because it takes a lot of courage to call yourself a witch, especially if you grow up in a family or a tribe, or you work at a job where people are going to ostracize you for that, or at the very least just roll their eyes and try to like non-verbally shame you that you're some kind of weirdo. It takes courage to go your own way. It takes courage to practice a religion that you have crafted of your own heart and soul. And that is why we kick so much ass. And there is a quote that I shared in I think it was the 3rd Book Nerd post for this series. But she asks, she being Clarissa Pinkola Estes, PhD, if I'm going to say her entire name, she asks what our soul needs. Because this is about working with the needs of your soul. What are soul needs? And then she says they lie in 2 realms, nature and creativity. And for me, that's what being a witch is all about. We observe nature, we work with nature, we honor nature, we love nature, we recognize that nature is all around us and within us. And in that way, like I was saying, all of these extra sensory senses, they're not supernatural, they're not extra at all, they're just totally natural. And creativity, like I was just saying, we craft our own religion. We use candles, incense, crystals, tarot cards, all kinds of bells and whistles, not because they're cool, which they totally are, but because they help us get in touch with the sensuality of being a human. They help us get in touch with our co-creative abilities. We recognize that we are co-creators of our own reality, and that scares other people who don't believe that and have not embraced that power that we all have inside. Even the haters have this power inside. They've just chosen to give their power away to someone or something outside themselves, and we are saying, no, the power is in here. The power is in my heart. The power is in my soul, and I'm going to tap into that through creativity, through nature, and if need be, if I need a guide, I'll pick up a book like this. So this was an amazing experience. I especially enjoyed doing the Seen and Heard challenge with you all on Facebook. That was deep, that was wide, that was mega. I got to know you all personally on a whole other level. So we will definitely be doing an occult challenge toward the end of August because it's just too good not to. But I think I'm going to spend a little bit of extra energy in August in the private Facebook group for the Psycho-Spiritual Wheel of the Year because I really want to talk about the occult and I really want to just get witchy, wild, and free. And people are different when they're in a private space like that. And Lammas is one of the not as popular sabbats or witchy holidays I have noticed in leading this Wheel of the Year. This is one that people tend to like jump on late. They're not as like, oh my gosh, the solstice is coming. It doesn't really have that energy to it. A lot of people go out of town around this time of year, so they miss it. So we are going to be doing a live hangout in the middle of August. I've just pushed it back a couple of weeks for Lammas so that anyone who wants to join in, you have a little bit of more time to do that. But the autumn transition module is for sale now. If you want to do that, we are working with unkinking your flow and this whole idea of how you are right now living in a giant biofeedback machine. We create altars to what is. That's the Crafty Witch project for this. And then there's 2 potion craft recipes for making the most of these dog days of summer, the end of summer. Just some really cool, refreshing potions that are awesome for your body, will give your skin that beautiful, healthy glow, and just make the most of this amazing fruit that is in season this time of year. I'm so loving that part of summer this year. And my soul pool, my little $20 kiddie pool, I'm still rocking that out every single day, and that is one way that I personally unkink my flow. So I'll be back here next week and we'll be talking about the occult. So fun. Thank you for participating with me this entire month. It has been completely kick-ass. Much love to you. Peace.